Yes, second. Yeah, it's ready. It's ready. The idea to elucidate the constitutional supremacy required a physical representation, and hence on 29th August 1947, a drafting committee was appointed. Dr. B.R. Ambedkar was elected as the chairman of the drafting committee to achieve a permanent and organized constitution. Yeah. Coming? Yes. Oh, that slide is coming.
You are the host now, right?
There's a technical glitch. Please bear with us.
Here actually. Right?
यहाँ पे है ना?
Here.
Yes, here. But the slide is different here. Okay. It's something else. They cannot see the thing.
Yeah, they can see.
They can see.
The participant can see. यहाँ पे जो लोग हैं उनको भी दिख सकते हैं.
You can use this. You can see. They can see the actual thing. They can see this one. They can see. It's not required then. It's not required. This one is not required. Okay, we will carry on. So sorry for the interruption. The underlying features of the Constitution upon which the drafting committee kept its focus on was Republican state, parliamentary supremacy, an independent judicial system, fundamental rights, and a federal system. On 4th November 1947, the drafting committee submitted the initial draft. This text is hiding. Of the Constitution, and the final draft was submitted on 26th November 1949. On 24th January 1950, the handwritten constitutional draft submitted by the drafting committee got signed and came into legal force on the 26th January 1950. The Constitution of India is the longest constitution in the world and contains a preamble of 25 parts along with 12 schedules, 448 articles, and 101 amendments till now. At the time of its origin, it had only 385 articles in 22 parts and 8 schedules. The formulation of the Indian Constitution gained inspiration from different constitutions from various countries, taking 2 years, 11 months, and 18 days to complete the supreme law of the land. Fundamental duties. Fundamental duties were incorporated in the Indian Constitution by the 42nd Amendment. There are 11 fundamental duties for Indian citizens drafted on the lines of moral, ethical, and cultural code of conduct followed by people. The duties are educative in nature and direct the citizens to behave in a virtuous and honorable manner. List of fundamental duties of Indian citizens. Now, what are the fundamental duties we have got? Duty number 1, abide by the Constitution and respect national flag and national anthem. Follow ideals of the freedom struggle. Protect sovereignty and integrity of India. Defend the country and render national services when called upon. Spirit of common brotherhood. Preserve composite culture. Preserve natural environment. Develop scientific temper. Safeguard public property. Strive for excellence. And all parents and guardians to send their children in the age group of 6 to 14 years to school. Need and importance of the fundamental duties. In case there is a violation of fundamental duties, Article 51A of the Constitution categorizes it as a contempt of the Constitution, which is punishable under the Prevention of Insults to National Honor Act 1971. It is easy to assume that constitutional duties are like the fundamental duties of the Indian citizen. The Indian Constitution provides a list of fundamental rights and duties to the citizens and lays down the state's duties towards ensuring that these rights are protected and provided equally to everyone. Suo motu cognizance. If you violate such duties, can the court take suo motu cognizance? There are certain provisions. Reasons for making fundamental duties non-enforceable. The fundamental duties are non-enforceable. Practically speaking, it was a wise decision to make fundamental duties non-enforceable, especially when the directive principles of state policy in the Constitution have been made non-enforceable as well. In fact, the reason for not making these duties non-enforceable is because most of the population being illiterate in India, many are unaware of their constitutional obligations. In this scenario, if the fundamental duties were enforced, it would have resulted in causing chaos and harassment among people. Also, implementing these elemental duties would have been tough, as the fundamental duties mentioned in Article 51A lack proper explanation, and for different people, these duties are liable to be interpreted in many ways. Moreover, the fundamental duties enlisted is wholly dependent on the performance of the state and the directive principles of the state policy. Fundamental duties are important because these duties are a constant reminder to citizens to build a free, healthy, and responsible society, and they are expected not to act recklessly and not indulge in anti-social activities. For the growth of a democratic country like India, it is imperative that all fundamental duties are followed by the citizens while respecting the integrity and promotion of cultural harmony in the country. These duties of an Indian citizen provides education to children, especially to children below 14 years of age, safeguards the human rights, and is a major step towards the abolition of social injustice that is prevalent in the society today. Environmental pollution has become a great cause of concern, not only for Indians, but for humanity around the globe, unless we all take the pledge to keep our environment free from pollutants. There remains the threat of undesirable consequences. Conclusion. The 11 fundamental duties are not merely the expression of morals or religions. The court of law can take cognizance in the matter to enforce and give effect to these constitutional obligations under Article 51A. And as per the definition of fundamental duties, it's the responsibility of the citizens to build a free and healthy society where all citizens are treated equally. Citizens are expected to behave in accordance with the ideal code of conduct parallel to 11 fundamental duties, and no legal action can be initiated for non-performance. Article 51 has got many provisions. Article 51A in the Constitution of India 1949. 51A, fundamental duties, it shall be the duty of every citizen of India to abide by the Constitution and respect its ideals and constitutions, the national flag and national anthem, to cherish and follow the noble ideas which inspired our national struggle for freedom, to uphold and protect the sovereignty, unity, and integrity of India, to defend the country and render national service when called upon to do so, to promote harmony and the spirit of common brotherhood among all the people of India, transcending religious, linguistic, regional, or social diversities, to renounce practices derogatory to the dignity of women, to value and preserve the rich heritage of our composite culture, to protect and improve the natural environment, including forests, lakes, rivers, wildlife, and to have compassion for having living creatures, to develop the scientific temper, humanism, and the spirit of inquiry and reform, to safeguard public property and to abjure violence, to strive towards excellence in all spheres of individual and collective activity so that the nation constantly rises to higher levels of endeavor and achievement. Now, there are two terms, fundamental duty and fundamental right. We know if there is duty, there has to be right. Now, there's a confusion many times. Many people might have said, this is my right. But when the point right is coming, we should know that we have got certain duties also. If we do not do our duties, rights cannot be established, rights cannot be enjoyed. Fundamental rights and fundamental duties are two terms that appear to be one and the same when it comes to their meaning and concept. Strictly speaking, they are not so. They are two different terms that are to be understood differently. Fundamental rights. These are the freedoms guaranteed by the Constitution to its citizens. These rights have a legal sanction and are enforceable in a court of law. Fundamental duties. These were added to the Constitution by the 42nd Amendment in 1946. Fundamental duty is the basic duty or responsibility bestowed on a citizen of the country. A fundamental right exists by virtue of the fact that you are a human being, whereas a fundamental duty also exists as a responsibility on the citizen as a human being. Hence, the primary difference between fundamental right and fundamental duty is that fundamental right is based on privilege granted to the citizen, whereas fundamental duty is based on accountability. Any citizen for a matter is expected to carry out fundamental duties fully well so that the society as a whole will be benefited. On the other hand, any citizen for that matter can make full use of these fundamental rights pertaining to the right to life, freedom of speech, writing, etc. It is interesting to note that freedom of speech is a fundamental right guaranteed to the citizens by some of the democratic countries across the globe. Hence, it is up to the individual to make use of the fundamental right granted to them. Fundamental duties of every citizen include basic education, nurturing of children, social responsibility, official responsibility, payment of taxes, adherence to traffic rules and regulations, and many more. Evasion of fundamental duties leads a citizen to problems. Abuse of fundamental right also leads a citizen to unwanted problems. The fundamental rights can only be enjoyed if the fundamental duties are performed with accountability. Who is a citizen? A citizen is a person who, by place of birth, nationality of one or both parents, or naturalization, is granted full rights and responsibilities as a member of a nation. Now the time has come. We will read out loudly. I will pronounce the sentence. I will read out the duty, and you all will repeat the sentence that is the duty with me. So we must be ready.
Participants, please read that.
At this juncture, I would also like to request all the participants, whenever I will read the duty one by one, everybody, all the participants, please read it out for the respect of our great country, India. List of fundamental duties of Indian citizens. We shall abide by the Constitution and respect national flag and national anthem. We shall follow ideals of freedom struggle. We shall protect sovereignty and integrity of India. We shall defend the country and render national services and called upon. We shall maintain spirit of common brotherhood. We shall preserve composite culture. We shall preserve natural environment. We shall develop scientific temper. We shall safeguard public property. We shall strive for excellence. And we shall encourage all parents and guardians to send their children in the age group of 6 to 14 years
to 14 years
to school.
16, 14 years of
Parliament
school.
of India.
Thank you, sir.
Law. So that's end the session. Thank you. Namaskar. Stay safe.
Thank you.
Participants, please leave the meeting. Thank you for joining.